welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and today I am bringing to you an update, which is sooner than I thought it would be, so I'm feeling a little proud of myself. This is for my Pan That Rainbow in Order project, and basically I am trying to hit pan in all the different shades of the rainbow in order. My order might kind of change a little bit because I started with red and I was debating if pink would be next or orange, so let's go ahead and just get into this. Okay, so I actually hit pan in my red eyeshadow, so spoiler. I thought it would take a lot more uses. The way I'm working this is I'm saying ideally 30 uses or pan, and I'm really trying to go though for the pans because I don't have other eyeshadow projects right now where I'm like really trying to hit pan. I'm just trying to use the different eyeshadows so many times because I know it takes a long time for me to hit pan. Some of the shimmers are easier, but I'm trying to focus a little bit on the matte eyeshadows with this. We'll see if that continues, but I just feel like shimmers, it's a little bit more natural because I use maybe more of it over the lid, and with the matte, I'm just kind of using a blending brush and like gently blending it on, and I don't need a lot on my very pale skin. So for this red, I actually came into this being, I'm not a red eyeshadow fan, but I think I found my red. So that's a win for me. So I was using it from this Prados palette called the Matriarch, or just Matriarch. And the red is this shade right here, which I will have a zoomed in pan, but I can do a little bit, but we'll have another picture. And it really didn't have any sort of dip going before I rolled it in for this. And I've been trying really hard. So I ended up doing 13 uses in this project time frame, but I've used it before that as well. And I used it all over the lid. I have a video, not sure if it's up before this or not, but where I had like a whole bunch of red. I've done eyeliner. I was just using it, on the outer corner and like doing different shimmers. I, was able to find that this red with a shimmer from my Rogue palette was an interesting look. I was just kind of blending it with other things. So it was actually really fun to kind of see all the ways I could use the red. And I feel like there's still more ways I could use it. But yeah, I am really happy to have that pan though. So I get to move on to the next color. And like I said, I was thinking about, should I do pink? But pink is something that I do really enjoy. And if I'm motivated to do orange, then I kind of want to do the orange just to, keep it going. And maybe I'll kind of save pink for, because, okay, I'm going to have purple, which I generally enjoy. And, like at the end, and then I was going to go into neutrals. So maybe I would put pink after purple and then go into the neutrals, or do some neutrals and then throw in a pink, and things like that, like some of the random things just to help keep me interested through neutrals. But yeah, so the orange eyeshadow, I had a thought of my Citrus Punch palette. I have different oranges, and there's one that actually has like a little nick in it that I'm like, ooh, that could make it a little easier. And it's a fairly light orange, not super pigmented, that I could, maybe use in a lot of looks. But I felt like it would be cheating. I am still using something that has some dips and things in it because I had repressed it. But I'm deciding, because I was thinking about, well, I probably want to use something that's older. And, I thought about my Sydney Grace singles. I have some oranges there, which are older than the Citrus Punch palette, at least to me. I'm not sure how old the Citrus Punch palette is in its actual age because it was gifted to me. But then I remembered I had my, the Sydney Grace singles are really hard to hit pan. They're mattes, even their shimmers, it takes a lot of work. So I just wasn't sure I was up for that. And then I remember my Vivid Pigments palette. I have 2 oranges in there, and I decided to go with the easier option of the 2 because this one already has, like I said, like some kind of like little dents and things from being repressed, but also that it's lighter. The other one is more almost neon type of orange, which is fun, but yeah, I don't know how long it would take me to hit pan in that, which maybe that's part of the fun. Maybe I'll do it at some point. But I'm also curious, this shade is the one I'm going with, so this is shade number 9 in there. I am curious of if I still want this one, because I have other eyeshadows that are very similar. So let me go ahead and swatch this. And this is not counting as one of my 30 uses. And let's see. I think it'll be best if I do it on the back of my arm here. So I'm gonna have, all right, so this is the shade I am gonna use. And also because it's a magnetic kind of single that I have, I'm able to weigh it so I can just, you know, decide to do that if I want. So then in here, I feel like this one is probably the most similar. I could be wrong. No, it's pretty similar. It's a little brighter, okay? And then in the Citrus Punch palette, I would probably, I don't know, it's between a couple here. So I'm gonna do a couple. There's shade Zest and there's a shade Orange. And I also had a ColourPop single that was pretty similar that I decolored. So Orange is definitely more orange. So it's, I wouldn't say this one, but this one is very similar to it. I mean, honestly, like on the eye, like I might even prefer this type because it has a little bit more pink to it. So yeah, it's like, since this is newer in my collection, and this is a little bit newer, but it's also getting old too. But it's sort of like, you know, is this shade still performing the way I want it to? Does it fade? Is it, I don't know. I don't think it's causing a reaction or anything like that. I haven't used it yet in my all eyeshadows on deck project. So, you know, it has not been touched for months. So, you know, it's a good time to check back in with it and see if it should stick around the collection, because that whole palette, I'm kind of, you know, considering decluttering some of the shades if I have other ones that are better. So, you know, maybe I can hit pan it. If it ends up being terrible, just not working well, then I might switch myself to, maybe I would let myself, well, no, you know what? I think I would then switch and use the other orange that is in that palette that I said would be hard, but I think that that's what I would do instead if I feel like this is not good. And then if that one's also not good, then, you know, at that point, I think I'll just report back to you and then be like, all right, let's try doing orange again. So yeah, that's where I'm at, that I'm gonna, you know, see how this eyeshadow goes. And yeah, if you are interested in seeing some of the red looks, obviously, like when I've filmed some different videos, then, you know, I've probably had it in at least one, but I'm not sure how many it's ended up in. But you can always look at my Instagram account because I have almost all of my makeup looks show up on there. So you can kind of go through and see. And I was even mentioning like, oh, still working on the red. Here's another red. So you can feel free to do that, but that's linked in my description box. And that's all I have for today. So let's see how orange goes. And I want to thank you for watching. Until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye.